Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jeev Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Dide Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhakta Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Nashtaki. So, continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy, text number 15 onwards. Yasya gun karma vidambanani namani ye asubhigame vivasha grinanti te aneka janma shamalam sahaseva hitva samyatya apavritam vritam tamajam prapadye. Let me take shelter of the lotus feet of whom whose inca- of let me take shelter of the lotus feet of him whose incarnations, qualities, and activities are mysterious imitations of worldly affairs. One who invokes his transcendental names, even unconsciously at the time he quits this life, is certainly washed immediately of the sins of many, many births and attains him without fail. So Brahmaji is praying that lotus feet of Krishna or Vishnu, so powerful that one who invokes his transcendental names or the names of Krishna so powerful, even unconsciously at the time of his leaving the body, is certainly washed away of immediately of the sins of many, many births and attains him without fail. So important, so powerful his name is. The activities of the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are kind of a imitation of the activities going on in the material world. So, what kind of imitation? He's just like an actor on a stage. An actor imitates the activities of a king on stage, although actually he's not the king. Similarly, when the Lord incarnates, he imitates parts with which he has nothing to do. So that makes his pastimes very sweet. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Lord has nothing to do with the activities in which he is supposedly engaged. Namam karmani limpanti na me karma phale spriha. The Lord is omnipotent. Simply by his will, he can perform anything and everything. When the Lord appeared as Lord Krishna, he played the part of the son of Yashoda and Nanda, and he lifted the Govardhan hill, although lifting a hill is not his concern. He can lift millions of Govardhan hills by his simple desire. He does not even need to lift it with his hand, but he imitates the ordinary living entity by this lifting. Of course, no ordinary living entity can lift Govardhan, but still, just like anybody lifts something or lifts an umbrella to protect somebody else, the Lord does that. And this, at the same time, and Prabhupada says, at the same time, he exhibits a supernatural power. Thus, his name is chanted as the lifter of Govardhan Hill or Sri Govardhan Dhari. Therefore, his acts in his incarnations and his partiality to the devotees are all imitations only, just like the stage makeup of an expert dramatical player. His acts in that capacity, however, are all omnipotent, and the remembrance of such activities of the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is as powerful as the Lord Himself. Ajamil remembered the holy name of the Lord, Narayan, by merely calling the name of his son Narayan, and that gave him a complete opportunity to achieve the highest perfection of life. So, this is how powerful his activities are and his name is. that even unconsciously somebody chants at the time of leaving his body. That's how powerful. Sometimes people say, doesn't God know that this person is so sinful that just by his chanting of one name, the person is freed of all his sinful reactions? How can God be so stupid? People comment like that. Krishna is not stupid. Actually, all his existence, or all his pastimes, all his activities, or whatever he does, is actually full of mercy, nothing else. Mercy, compassion towards the fallen, conditioned souls. So, out of his merciful nature, out of his compassionate nature, he just forgives person who has chanted his name. That's his mercy. And he's just full of mercy. That's all. Even when he kills somebody, killing of Putna and so many demons, when he killed somebody who came as in a mood to kill Krishna himself, Krishna killed them, but at the same time gave them liberation. That's his mercy. Krishna is merciful. Krishna's devotees are more merciful. Krishna's topmost devotee, Srimati Radharani, is most merciful. Krishna can kill a demon and give him liberation. Srimati Radharani, when Krishna took the mood of Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't kill anybody. He just killed their demoniac consciousness and gave them Krishna Prema. Is giving, still giving, not gave them, still giving Krishna Prema. Just by just chanting of the holy names. That's it. Isn't that mercy or what? That's why Rupa Goswami called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here. Is the most munificent, means most merciful incarnation. So this is what Krishna is made up of, mercy. That's it. And one who can understand this, then he attains the highest perfection. Yova aham cha girishascha vibhu swayam cha sthiti udbhav pralaya hetav atma moolam भित्वा त्रिपादववृद्ध एक उरु प्ररोहर तस्मै नमो bhagavate bhuvanodrumaya. Your Lordship is the prime root of the tree of the planetary systems. This tree has grown by first penetrating the material nature in three trunks as me, Shiva, and you, the Almighty, for creation, maintenance, and dissolution. And we three have grown with many branches. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you, the tree of the cosmic manifestation. The cosmic manifestation is grossly divided into three worlds, namely upper, lower, and middle planetary systems. And then it broadens into the cosmos of 14 planetary systems, with the manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the supreme root. Material nature, which appears to be the cause of the cosmic manifestation, is only the agency or energy of the Lord. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshena Prakriti, Suyate Sacharacharam. Only under the superintendence of the Supreme Lord does material nature appear to be the cause of all creation, maintenance, and dissolution. The Lord expands himself into three, Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva, for maintenance, creation, and destruction, respectively. Of the three principal agents controlling the three modes of material nature, Vishnu is the Almighty, even though he is within the material nature for the purpose of maintenance. He's not controlled by the laws of material nature. So this is another example of Krishna or Vishnu's superiority or supernatural powers. Although Vishnu here, when we say this Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, this Vishnu is Kshirodaksha Vishnu, actually. So he is lying down and he is in the material world and he's in charge of the maintenance. Of course, creation and dissolution also happens because of him only, ultimately. But directly he's in charge of maintenance. And even though he's in material world, but he's not touched with the material modes. Material modes still work under his command. The other two, Brahma and Shiva, although almost as greatly powerful as Vishnu, are within the control of the material energy of the Supreme Lord. Even Shivji, he's not in control, complete control, but he's not at the level of Vishnu, that's for sure. The conception of many gods controlling the many departments of material nature is ill conceived of by the foolish pantheist. God is one without a second, and he is a primal cause of all causes. As there are many departmental heads of governmental affairs, so there are many heads of management of the universal affairs. So Hinduism is many times misunderstood by scholars, by people, and this is how they have advertised and have confused Hindus also by saying in Hinduism means many gods, not one god, many gods. And scriptures do talk about 330 million, 33 crore Devi Devta. But people don't understand, and Hindus also don't understand because lack of proper education. The demigods are not on the same level as Krishna or Vishnu. There are 33 crore demigods, but God is only one. So this part, anybody asks us, we should be able to present it properly. And Prabhupada says nicely, as there are many departmental heads of governmental affairs, so there are many heads of management of the universal affairs. So yes, they are departmental heads, they are demigods who are given different departments of the universe to rule over, to head, to control. But ultimately, they all are responsible for reporting to Vishnu. They all work under the control, under the superintendence of Vishnu. And if somebody wants to know more in detail, how do you explain this and that, then you explain to him, even what to speak of Vishnu, even Brahmaji. One day of Brahmaji has 14 Manvantar, means 14 Manus. In 12 hours of Brahmaji, they come and go, they rule and go. And the demigods that we know of, they rule for a period of one Manvantar only. One Manvantar is very long, 71 Chaturyugas. But still, in Brahmaji's one day, all these position of demigods change 14 times, just like Manus change their position. Few demigods, of course, they are devotees, so they are given the service of a demigod, like Hanumanji, Shivji, Durgaji. They don't change their position. They are eternal. But other demigods, those are just positions. I mean, the person is somebody else. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, we saw when Krishna said, I spoke this knowledge of this imperishable science to sun god Vivasva. So the current sun god is by the name of person whose name is Vivaswan. So he's holding on to the position of sun god, Suryadev. A Suryadev is a position, Vivaswan is a person. Just like Chandradev, person is Som for this time. Indra is a position. The person is Purandar in this Manvantar. So similarly others. So it's not polytheism philosophy. It's only one God, monotheism, but different departments or different heads. God himself is not going to look after each and every department. He's there to enjoy. Due to a poor fund of knowledge, the impersonalist does not believe in the personal management of things as they are. But in this verse, it is clearly explained that everything is personal and nothing is impersonal. We have already discussed this point in the introduction, and it is confirmed here in this verse. So this verse where it is said, Brahma is praying and he is saying that your lordship is a prime root of the tree of the planetary system. When he's praying to Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he is a person. Garbhodaksha Vishnu is a person. Similarly, Kshirodaksha Vishnu is a person. This tree has grown by first penetrating the material nature in three trunks as me, Shiva, and you, the Almighty, for creation, maintenance, and dissolution. So these three are persons, and similarly others are persons. There is no such thing as Nirakar is controlling everything. The reflection of the tree on the water appears to have, previously. The tree of the material manifestation is described in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as an Ashwatha tree whose root is upwards. We have actual experience of such a tree when we see the shadow of a tree on the bank of a reservoir of water. The reflection of the tree on the water appears to hang down from its upward roots. The tree of creation described here is only a shadow of the reality, which is Parabrahman, Vishnu. In the internal potential manifestation of the Vaikuntha Lokas, the actual tree exists, and the tree reflected in the material nature is only the shadow of this actual tree. So Prabhupada is explaining this tree of creation, which is explained in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as Ashwatha tree, but which is upside down, with roots up and the branches down. So the root up is actually the root which is coming from spiritual world, or some say Satyaloka is the topmost part. The real tree is situated in the eternal existence of spiritual nature, full of transcendental varieties, and Lord Vishnu is the root of that tree also. The root is the same, the Lord, both for the real tree and the false, but the false tree is only the perverted reflection of the real tree. The Lord, being the real tree, is here offered obeisances by Brahma on his own behalf and also on the behalf of Lord Shiva. Text 17. Loko vikarma nirataha kushale pramattaha karmanyayam tvad udite bhavadarchane swe yastavadasya balvani jivitasham sadyashchinnati animishaya namo astu tasmai. People in general all engage in foolish acts, not in the really beneficial activities enunciated directly by you for their guidance. As long as the tendency for foolish work remains powerful, all their plans in the struggle for existence will be cut to pieces. I therefore offer my obeisances unto him who acts as eternal time. People in general are all engaged in senseless work. They are systematically unmindful of the real beneficial work, which is the devotional service of the Lord, technically called the Archana Regulations. The Archana Regulations are directly instructed by the Lord in the Narad Pancharatra and are strictly followed by the intelligent men who know well that the highest perfectional goal of life is to reach Lord Vishnu, who's the root of the tree called cosmic manifestation. So the real purpose of life is to serve the Supreme. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. People don't know what is their real gati, real swartha, which is Vishnu, which is to serve Vishnu. And people are just wasting their time throughout their life working for temporary, transient goals. Foolish people do not know that the real interest is in the realization of Vishnu. And this is what it says in Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj actually says this. Because of their foolish activities, they are unaware that the ultimate goal of human life is to achieve Vishnu, the Lord of the cosmic manifestation. And so their struggle for existence is in the wrong direction of material civilization, which is under the external energy. They're led by similar foolish persons, but just as one blind man is led by another blind man, and both fall in the ditch. Anda yathanda rupaniya manas. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asks everyone to give up their occupational duties and absolutely engage in Archana activities or in pleasing the Lord. But almost no one is attracted to such Archana activity. Everyone is more or less attracted by activities which are conditions of rebellion against the Supreme Lord. The systems of Jnana and Yoga are also indirectly rebellious acts against the Lord. There is no auspicious activity except Archana of the Lord. There is no auspicious activity except Archana of the Lord, except worship of the Lord. Jnana and Yoga are sometimes accepted within the purview of Archana when the ultimate aim is Vishnu and not otherwise. The conclusion is that only the devotees of the Lord are bona fide human beings eligible for salvation. Others are vainly struggling for existence without any actual benefit. Very powerful line, Prabhupada. Conclusion is that only the devotees of the Lord are bona fide human beings eligible for salvation. Why? Because Prahlad Maharaj says, Nate vidu swartha gatam hi Vishnu. Means the ultimate goal of life is to serve Vishnu. So those who are even yogis and jnanis, they don't know this. Since they are not serving Vishnu, they are not at the level of even human beings. Very powerful statement. Others are vainly struggling for existence without any actual benefit. So the point is, for jnani, like Krishna says in Gita, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyate. After millions and millions of birth, one who's really in knowledge comes and surrenders unto me. And of the yogis, he says, of all the yogis, the best is to come and surrender unto me. So the devotion service of bhakti yogis are considered the topmost. So anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
So much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for the wonderful lecture. So,
Thank you.
the last Gita sloka which you have mentioned, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. So, from this, I have got a small question.
Mm-hmm.
So, The Lord says that after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. So
Mhm.
sometimes once we have knowledge about the scriptures and all, automatically pride comes naturally. It comes. So when pride comes, we tend to have a kind of different kind of nature. So how to not have pride in the heart while gaining knowledge equally on an equal level?
Well, if the pride is there, then the knowledge is not there. Krishna says in Gita, two places. One place he says, Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini. One who has knowledge and who is humble, he sees with an equal vision a Brahman, a cow, an elephant, and even a dog eater. Because humility is important with the knowledge. And knowledge, actually, Vidya Datati Vinayam. There's a saying in Vedas. Vidya has to give Vinay or humility. That is a real Vidya. Otherwise, it's avidya. And another place Krishna says, Tesham satatyuktanam bhajtam priti purvakam dadadmi buddhi yogam tam. So those who are engaged in serving me with love and devotion, I give them the knowledge by which they come to me. So the knowledge means, the real knowledge will be given when we are engaged in devotion service. And Krishna gives more knowledge so we can engage more in a better way. And if because of little knowledge somebody gets puffed up because he has memorized some shlokas or he has learned Sanskrit so he can explain something in a different way, that's not Vidya actually.
Yes.
If yeah, go ahead.
So you mean to say first and foremost, we should first practice devotional service rather than jumping into having a lot of knowledge. Then after doing devotional services and all, equally we can learn to know more about Lord Krishna and Krishna's book. So that way, like we can have this kind of, we can do such kind of virtues equally. Because sometimes without having this kind of virtues like devotional feeling or anything, if we are only reading books and practically if we are not engaging ourselves into devotional services, that's how devotional service, I mean, attitude cannot be developed. That's what you mean to say, right?
No, no, definitely no. Okay, what are the 9 processes of devotional service?
Shravanam, Mananam,
What is okay? What is Shravanam?
listening.
And
Listening very closely to your master and then assimilating and contemplating
well,
equally.
you're going too far. Shravana means reading also.
Okay, Kirtanam is like not reading, it's chanting only.
Chanting, singing, preaching, everything comes in kirtan. But
Okay,
Shravanam means both reading and listening.
okay.
So knowledge is not, I mean, bhakti doesn't mean no knowledge, no scripture reading. We are reading every day. We are hearing every day. See, there is Gyan and then there is Bhakti. Gyan means without or anything. Well, okay, let's come to Bhakti. Bhakti means to please the Supreme Lord. Any activity that we do to please the Supreme Lord under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, that is
Mhm.
Bhakti. So we are trying to study Prabhupada's books. This is to please Prabhupada because it was his order. He has written the books for us. So when Prabhupada is pleased, then definitely Krishna is pleased. So this is part of bhakti.
Okay, yeah, I got now since you have mentioned about 9 processes of devotional services. So if one
Mhm.
follows one by one all the 9 processes of devotional service, then one will never have that kind of pride attitude, right? So now,
No. I'm not saying pride can still come because we are still in the material world. We are conditioned souls. So even in the process of bhakti, one can become proud.
oh, yeah, because this itself, because other like Vishnu Smaranam, then Pada Sevanam, all these are under the bhakti only.
Yeah.
Archanam, and there also we are doing deity worship. Then at
But
last,
all these steps done without the consciousness of pleasing the Supreme, done with the consciousness of I am great, that's why I'm doing, or whatever way we become proud, then it's not bhakti, then it becomes just a pious activity.
yes, right, because when it says out of 9 days, one, I guess, Atma Nivedanam,
Yeah, full surrender.
complete surrender. So one can never surrender completely unless if one will not have that attitude of devotion, because surrendering is not, I guess, so easy.
So the idea is, even while we are doing Shravanam, we should have proper consciousness, proper attitude.
Yeah,
And bhakti cannot happen without humility.
right.
But jnani can be without humility. Jnana can be had. So it's a very fine line, actually, very thin difference between bhakti and pious activity.
Yeah,
So we just
true.
have to be careful. That's all.
Pious activities like those philanthropists and all, social workers and all.
No, beta. Even this gyan, this study. If somebody sits down and study without any mood for serving Krishna, he will still get the knowledge. But then it becomes pious activity because at least he has touched Bhagavad Gita and he's studying Bhagavad Gita. It might not be bhakti.
Okay. So together, if we practice all the 9 devotional paths, we can slowly and gradually enhance.
Yeah. We can only grow organically, gradually.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhuji,
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Jai Shri
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Prabhuji.